Here come the boys.
This was a big one for you, 2002. And not only, I mean, 4-year starter at Kansas, you still lead in three-pointers made. Is that it, right? At University of Kansas?
Yeah.
Okay. And, I mean, 2002 had to be special for you for a couple reasons. Number one, you were a senior, so you knew this was kind of last dance. Number two, you wanted to get something for Coach Williams, who's meant a lot to you since you were arguably 17.
Yeah.
And you've got great teammates, like you mentioned, Heinrich, Emerson, Drew Gooden, all these guys, and it's kind of like, okay, this is our time.
Yeah.
What was that Final Four like for you?
Well, the run was, we lost that year. We lost our first game in Maui to not Boise State, but Ball State.
Really?
Yeah. So that was on ESPN, and we had Nick Collison was cramping the whole second half, had to be consistently taken out, and then the last play of the game where Ball State scored to win it, Aaron Miles was guarding little point guard, and he started sliding his feet and backing up, and he cramped and he fell over, and their point guard went in and scored the layup, and they ended up beating us. And that was after that game. Coach, obviously upset, but I remember in the post game we had snack that night before we went to bed, and he talked to us about his 93 or 92 Final Four team, or 91, 93 Final Four team. I can't remember which one, but he said we lost our first game of the year that season in 93, whatever it was. And we ended up making the Final Four that year. So I think that's something that always kind of stuck in the back of our mind. Like we understood how good we were going to be, and how good the chances of us being pretty good were there with the amount of players that we had coming back, the amount of experience. And, I can remember the first couple of practices of that year, like feeling like everything just clicked right away. With our practices, as far as we didn't have to do a ton of install because we all knew what we were doing. The flow of practice, the flow of our offense just kind of ran smoothly. We knew all the plays already. And so everything just kind of hit right away. And then we went on a big run after we lost to Ball State. We went on a big run. I think we got to number 1 in the country that year. We ran through the Big 12. We were 16-0. That's the first time, I think maybe the only time anybody went through the Big 12 without losing a game, if I'm not mistaken. And I think we went 16-0 that year, and we ended up losing the conference tournament championship to Oklahoma, who made the Final Four as well. So we had Missouri that year made the Elite Eight. So it wasn't, Texas was right there with TJ Ford. I think they made a Sweet 16. So like our conference was just as legit as the Big 12 is now. And we had some of the best teams in the entire country in our league, and for us to go 16-0 was pretty special. But the run that we went on, once the tournament started, the first game we had, was scared with Holy Cross. Kirk Heinrich goes down and has a really bad sprained ankle, and I think we end up beating Holy Cross, which was a 16 team at the time. I think we only beat them by like 10 or 11 points. They were up late on us. And then from there, we demolished Stanford. I can remember Casey Jacobson, who I think works for Fox now, making a statement in the post game about Heinrich not playing, and they're not as good when Heinrich's not playing. Well, obviously we heard that, and we busted. I think we beat them by 30. And then the Sweet 16 game against Coach Self and his Illinois team, they had beat us the prior year, my junior year in San Antonio in the Sweet 16, and just really out-toughed us. And they pushed us around and really just bullied us that whole game. And so this year, we were a little bit more ready for it, and we got fortunate there. And then the Elite Eight game, we played Oregon, Luke Ridenour, Luke Jackson, some of those guys, and we beat them pretty handily in the Elite Eight game, and then obviously made it to the Final Four. But just that run was so fun. I mean, just going to a Final Four practice, having 20,000 people there watching you practice, and just the publicity, the media attention. The week leading up to that Final Four, we had media day, media presence at practice every single day. Like they'd set up Allen Fieldhouse with chairs all over the place for each one of us players, and they would have media coming around, and it's a whole different level than anything else as far as the media attention. And obviously we came up short against Maryland, and I always say if Drew Gooden would have had a little bit better game, we probably win that game. He struggled to shoot the basketball, struggled really with everything, got into some foul trouble, and they were really good. Juan Dixon, Steve Blake, Chris Wilcox, Lolly Baxter. I mean, a really good basketball team. And really that year it was us, Maryland, and Duke that were kind of in and out between the number one team in the country all year.
Take me into the locker room with Coach Williams. This has always been in my mind, but what does Coach Williams say to you guys pregame before the Final Four?
Oh, geez.
Was it like a good speech, like a motivational thing, or just like, hey, let's go take care of business? What was it like?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Williams was always, and that's something as a college coach now, you always try to find the right words to say, like what's going to push the buttons. But really, with that team, I feel like, our motivation was internal. He didn't have to do too much. I always was really impressed with the things he had to say before games. And he was never just a rah-rah guy. Sometimes you see on Twitter, seeing these coaches getting all fired up. He's more talking to us, and he'd always list 3 bullet points that he would go over and then give a little pep talk. But that team was just so internally motivated, and it didn't take much for us to get up to play games. But yeah, he nothing special, but got the 3 points across and gave us a little bit of motivation. We're out there playing.